Chapter 4, FOSO, a framework for worship. Today, we're exploring a really powerful framework for worship outlined in the book called FOSO.
FOSO, right?
Yeah.
That stands for faith, obedience, sacrifice, and outcome.
Exactly. And it's drawn from, well, one of the most intense stories in Scripture, I think, Abraham and Isaac on Mount Moriah. That's Genesis 22.
It's a profound passage.
And what struck me is how the book presents this as maybe the first example of sacrificial love, a love that is tested through surrender that we see in the Bible.
And it points forward, too, doesn't it? Foreshadowing, as the book says, the ultimate sacrifice that God would make through his Son, Jesus Christ.
It really lands that point that worship is not about convenience, but about sacrifice.
Absolutely. The book uses that specific command in Genesis 22, verse 2, to set the scene. God tells Abraham, then he said, take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. That's the setup for this whole FOSO concept.
Wow. So let's break down FOSO. It starts with F, faith. The book points to Abraham's journey from Ur.
Right, his faith to follow. He had no map, did he?
No, just a word from God. He didn't know where he was going. It kind of challenges you, doesn't it, when you face uncertainty?
It really does. The book stresses that true worship means following even without the full picture. It connects directly to 2 Corinthians 5, verse 7, we walk by faith, not by sight.
We walk by faith.
Yes, following God's lead without demanding full visibility of the journey ahead. And faith itself. Well,
Yeah.
Hebrews 11, verse 1 defines it.
Can you remind us?
Sure. Faith is described in Hebrews 11, verse 1 as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen.
Evidence of things unseen sounds like a contradiction.
It can seem that way, but the book clarifies it. Faith isn't blind wishing. It's about trusting the one who calls, trusting God. His character is the evidence, even when the path isn't clear.
That makes sense. That trust then leads right into the obedience.
Yes, obedience to do what God requires.
And Abraham's willingness to sacrifice Isaac is presented as the peak of that obedience. It's more than just belief. It's action.
Crucially, though, the book references 1 Samuel 15, verse 22. Remember, obedience is better than sacrifice.
Right. So it wasn't really about the sacrifice itself.
Not primarily. It was about Abraham's heart posture, his obedience to God's specific command. The book explains that this came from his deep relationship with God. Abraham knew everything he had and everything he was because of the Father.
His obedience flowed from that relationship.
Precisely. Not just rule following.
Which brings us to sacrifice to trust him. This is where the book draws a distinction, doesn't it, from some maybe more popular ideas about faith?
It does. It contrasts this deep trust with notions like confess it, possess it, or name it and claim it. This isn't about getting what you want.
So what is this trust, according to the book?
It's defined quite profoundly. Trust says that if God delivers me, he is good. If he does not, he is still good. Trust says that God gives me what I need when I need it. If I don't have it, then there must be a reason for it.
That's radical. If he does not, he is still good.
It is. And think about Abraham. He was asked to offer the promise Isaac himself and trust God so much that he knew God was able to still fulfill the promise even though Isaac will no longer be there. That's immense.
Offering the very promise back to God.
Yes, it's a complete recognition of his sovereignty, acknowledging God's ultimate control, his wisdom, his goodness, no matter the circumstance.
And this leads us to the outcome, which is?
Outcome is Jehovah provides.
Yeah.
This is where we see the ram caught in the thicket, right? Genesis 22, verse 14 points to this moment.
And provision arrives exactly when needed.
Right when faith, obedience, and that sacrificial trust converge. The book is clear. True worshipers understand the outcome is solely dependent on God and not them.
It's not about our striving to fix it.
No. There's this assurance that Jehovah will be the provider of what is required. It's about surrender and trusting his provision.
So wrapping this FOSO framework up, it's much bigger than just Sunday morning singing.
Much bigger. As the book puts it, worship is fundamentally a life lived by these principles. It's about the direction of our hearts.
There's that quote from Adrian Bothma cited in the book. Worship is a matter of the heart. If your heart is not fully after God, then you are worshiping something else.
That really says it all, doesn't it? It leaves you with something to think about. How might adopting this FOSO framework, faith, obedience, sacrifice, trusting the outcome to God, how might that transform your understanding and maybe even your practice of worship in everyday life?